lot of people feel like when they get to the dub stage, that's the point where their movie starts to feel like a movie. And that's true because it's probably the first place you start feeling your movie. All the other elements, visual effects and editorial and color, make a huge impact, but sound is the only one that breaks the edges of the screen and sucks you into the movie.
We repeat, please. Do not look at the moon. Further details coming on the emergency alert system.
Because this picture, sort of arrived on my doorstep in such good form, it already was telling the story. It was really about just enhancing that and making it become more of what it wanted to be. So, in that sense, they did the work for me. I just sort of, showed up and pressed buttons and got a paycheck, so, When you're really trying to build atmosphere in a movie like this, sounds are really important. They do tell you a lot about how things feel. We ended up working in a pretty good amount of ADR for creative storytelling reasons, just to embellish certain moments or change the cadence of things. Fortunately, a lot of the ADR was well recorded, sometimes in the same space, but then it's a process of taking that and then trying to figure out what you need to do in terms of adding or taking away reverb, in terms of using EQ to shape the tone of the sound, using other plugins to try to get it as close to the production as possible so it feels seamless and then it doesn't draw your attention. We did get some material from Jono, the actor. It was interesting. It was avant-garde.
Michael Bublé being tortured for the launch codes.
We used a little of it, and I'm very happy to have had that experience of reviewing the material. It was a very rewarding experience getting to review an actor in their truest creative form. So we did want to keep the Moon Monsters based in the human voice as opposed to going into the library and pulling things that you would use more for, conventional monsters. We're not going to be layering a bunch of, alligators and lions. And we happened into this fortunate situation where I have experience doing yells for movies. And then I have another sound editor friend who lives nearby, and she's a professional singer. So between the two of us, we covered the male and female voices of different textures. And we ended up just layering that together. And then I took all those different elements and then tried different chains of processing to find textures that sounded interesting. I had like a pumping effect one that makes the voice kind of duck in and out constantly in terms of volume, gives it kind of an almost mechanical quality. Then there's some straightforward distortion on it, and then there's a phaser, which gives it kind of a classic kind of, sci-fi whooshy sound. That was a lot of fun. We got to kind of figure it out as we went along. And I think it adds this sort of spooky textural quality, more than just a conventional sound effect would.
One of the keys to Moonstruck being frightening is that it starts in a very familiar world. Losing control in that way is scary. Changing the way that your body expresses itself with the scream and the voice is scary. Making someone as familiar as your husband completely foreign is really intriguing to me. A lot of credit for that goes to Kevin. Kevin cut some really, really cool stuff, some otherworldly effects, and he did a great job with building that world beyond the walls of the house.
Finally, my God. We were here for like 45 minutes.
When you're watching it, you hear a very strategically placed siren or the dog barking outside the window to signal to the viewer in a really subtle way that something's amiss. I then take those elements and I sort of put them where they belong. So I put the dogs outside and I bring Rob closer or the TV further and really create that sense of space. I also can't leave out the incredible score that this movie has. It was a complete pleasure to weave the music through the story. It really worked well together in the end.
Front!
Mommy? And with Moonstruck in particular, I really love how bold Alan was willing to be with using the surrounds and taking advantage of the space. The great thing about mixing in our surround space is that it gives us the ability to do that. But that's one of the things that I love about mixing in general. By nature, it's a collaborative process. It's my being on the dub stage with clients, it's my happy place. Emotionally, it's really satisfying in the very end to know that I've created something that makes everybody look great. That's what we're doing in post here, right? We just make everyone look good. When I get goosebumps, I know that that's gonna be a win. So when it plays in a large theater, I think people are gonna go nuts.
Oh, you just pounded it, man. That was a big shot, dude.